What's up everyone, jthewei back at it with another YouTube video, and I'm here to talk about today how I know so many talented people and gifted people and hardworking people, but for some reason they do not succeed. There are a lot of exceptionally intelligent people I know who are capable of doing a lot in life, but they do not succeed. And what is the reason for this? There's one key word, and it's because they're not bold enough. I have the perfect example of a good friend of mine. His name is Taylor Brown, and I studied chemical engineering with him at LSU, and he recently graduated, so congratulations to him. The reason why my friend Taylor is so successful, despite the fact that he might not necessarily be at the top of the class, is because he is probably the most bold person that I've ever met in my life. And whenever he wants to go out and get something, he will do it, and he is not afraid of failing. And simply put, my man Taylor was able to get 2 jobs just because of the fact he puts himself out there and he talks to any engineer that he sees in public. And he tells me most of the time, you're going to get rejected. And that's absolutely normal. When my friend Taylor talks to every single one of the engineers he knows, he's bound to make a good connection. And what ended up happening was he was serving somebody who worked for a plant, and he could tell he worked for a plant because he was dressed in the jumpsuit, and he just started asking him questions, and look what happened. He ended up with a job. And meanwhile, you know, during the COVID-19, a lot of chemical engineering jobs are down right now, and the fact that he was able to secure one because he went out there and he put himself out there to look for it by asking people. Just the other day, when LSU was playing Alabama, me and my friend wanted to go into our final football game because we graduate next semester. What ended up happening was we thought that it was impossible to get into Tiger Stadium because it was the biggest game of the year. Me and my friend, we walked up to the security gate and we were just straightforward and honest with the security guard, and we said, hey, we're seniors and we're graduating and we just want to have a good time on our last home football game. The next thing you know, this guy literally let us in the biggest home football game of the year for free, simply just because we asked for it. Our brain defaults to what is the most comfortable. It is very comfortable and easy to quit when you could just keep going on. Like I mentioned before, there are a lot of people that I know are very talented at what they're doing, or very, very smart people in school that get things just like this. But your talent does not mean anything if you can't use it properly. If you're not bold enough to put yourself out there, your talent is basically useless. Knowledge is completely useless unless you know how to use it. There are a lot of people out there with the singing talent of Beyonce. There are a lot of athletic NBA players with the talent of LeBron James. But the reason why they don't succeed is because they don't understand that life is a numbers game. The moment these people get rejected one time, they try whatever they do for a few years, they end up and they quit because they don't have the long-term thinking of success. A big part of success is not about how smart you are or how talented you are at something, but you having the confidence to keep going when times are down. Because the truth of the matter is that every single one of us has down times and goes through failures. When you go on social media and all you see is people succeeding but not seeing their failures, you look back at yourself and you pity yourself and you say, oh, I am not good enough, I will never ever make it. And if you keep feeding yourself this information, it doesn't matter all the talent and all the brains and all what you train for, but if you don't have the confidence to understand that life is a numbers game and that when you fail, you have to just get back up again and keep trying till success comes your way, you will never make it there. So how exactly do you start becoming more bold? Like I mentioned, the first key step is to stop trying to expect success instantaneously. You have to understand that a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, go through plenty of failures. Second, like I mentioned in my other video, the only way you can truly get better at something is by doing it over and over again. There is no shortcut or magic pill that you can swallow that you can automatically make yourself better the next day. A part of becoming bold is by training your brain to do it over and over again. I know it can be daunting and very scary at first to go for what you want, but the more you do it, I promise you, the more you will get used to it. Lastly, you also have to understand you have to stop defaulting the result of what you have to what is exactly pictured in your head. A lot of the times when you go out and try something new in life, you're going to find something that you didn't even realize before, and you probably will gain a new passion that you never have even thought you would do. I mean, if I told myself 5 years ago, right now, that I would be performing piano, I would be completely lying to you. I had no idea that I would ever come to the place where I would be performing piano right now, because a few years ago, I told myself that I was not interested in classical music. I honestly thought I would just be playing basketball all day. But if you put yourself out more to try new things, you're gonna find new avenues to finding new passions in life. And that is a good thing. And a lot of people fear not trying new things because they're too afraid that the thing's not going to work out, when you don't realize that if you try something new, you might discover something that you didn't even realize that you liked yourself. Only 3 things can happen. The first is you get exactly what you want. The second is that you end up discovering something new. And the third thing is you make a mistake and you learn from your failure. That ends it for this video. I hope you learned something new. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Jthewei out.